Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadasivam once again with you. Guys, when we were school children, we have heard of a story that the wolf is coming, anytime it might come. And we have been hearing that for a very long time. That the interest rates will go up, and the interest rates have actually gone up, be it in United States or in India. Both the countries have increased their interest rates based on the monetary policies. And you can see the fate of this share market. Today we are sitting at 15,800 levels, 700, 800 levels. Yesterday we reached the same level. Now, out of the 50 nifty stocks, your Reliance, HDFC Bank, TCS, Infosys, Kotak Mahindra, there are 50 stocks. Out of those 50, 45 stocks ended in the red. लाल टमाटर लाल लाल जैसे मेरे गाल गाल सब गिर गए हैं. And I would also like to give you a small figure. Yesterday, the investors lost 19 lakh crores. Do you know how much is 1 crore? If you spend your whole lifetime working for a company, when you retire, you will get 1 crore. That too, if you are a big senior level officer. And in one day, not one day, 6 hours, from 9:15 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon, our Indian investors have lost more than 19 lakh crore. Remember this figure, 19 lakh crores. Some people tell that in trillion. It is 19 trillion rupees, not dollars, of course. 19 trillion rupees. The investors have lost their wealth, and this is the nature of stock market. I'm sure you would have come across so many people who may say that I have made 2 lakh today, I invested 1 lakh and today it's 10 crores. Lot of people. We really don't know what is true and what is not. We really don't know. There are some people who make money also. This is the nature of the beast. This is what is Krishan Leela. We don't know where it comes. It might come from here. It might go. It might disappear into thin air. Nobody knows what is happening and what is making it work. Yesterday it ended at 15,700. And in the morning, SGX Nifty opened with a gap up. People were so happy. Here also it opened gap up. Everybody was dancing in joy. Now there is no way. It will only go northwards. And it did. It crossed 16,000, 16,050. As time passed, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, the ring. After that, at around 2 o'clock, there was a reversal without a parachute. Can you imagine if a person jumps, how fast he jumps from the helicopter? That was how the Nifty fell. And if you want to watch that, go to the NSE website and look at the graph and then remember what I said. The without parachute analogy. You would never have seen such a fall. It went back to the same level yesterday, which is 15,700, 750, 800, right? In Sanskrit, this is called as Yathastanam Pratisthapayami. It came a full circle, right? Like a clock. Started with the 0 minute, then 5, 10, 15, 30. Once again, it came back to the same place. I would like to share certain statistics in macroeconomics. Yesterday they announced the inflation numbers. 8-year high. We have never witnessed this kind of an inflation in the last 8 years. Now, the Reserve Bank of India and MPC, which is Monetary Policy Committee, these guys sit once in 3 months and they number crunch. What is the inflation? What is the interest rate? Is the GDP growing? What is PMI? Are people getting employed? What is the labor supply rate? All that. They do all those number crunching and then they decide that in the coming days, what will be the consumer price index, what will be the repo rate, what will be the reverse repo rate, what is LAF, lot of things. They will decide all the CPI, WPI. I have put up a detailed video on all these topics. I won't be explaining all those topics here because this video is a snapshot video. I have to cover 100 different things in 15 minutes, right? Go to those. They are detailed videos, half an hour videos. So RBI has two bands for inflation. Their upper band of inflation was 6% and we have already crossed that. We have already reached 7% and there is no possibility of that coming down, at least in the foreseeable future. I think till December next year, 2023, we have to live with inflation of 7%. There is no other alternative. You can keep that in writing and you better be prepared for that. There is another thing which is called as current account deficit. That means the difference between your exports and imports. Generally, we would like our exports to be more than our imports, but practically the exports are less than imports, as a result of which there is a current account deficit. But generally it is less than 2%. But for the first time, we have crossed 3% trade deficit. There are a lot of things in this: balance of trade, balance of payment, etc. All are economic subjects. I've already put a detailed video. You can't become an economist by watching this 15 minutes video, right? Please subscribe to that channel. I put Dr. Sadasivam's Academy channel. Listen to those videos, 5 minutes every day, 5-10 minutes. After 1 year, you will probably know something about economics. That is when you can confidently say that you know economics. After that, there's another thing called as fiscal deficit. One is fiscal deficit, then the second is primary deficit, next is revenue deficit, primary deficit, fiscal deficit. All these are there in Dr. Sadasivam's Academy. The link is also given in the description in this channel. Go to that channel, subscribe and watch those videos, right? Now we are talking about fiscal deficit, which is around 6%. There was a time when the moment you cross 3% fiscal deficit, people used to cry, oh my God, 3% cross. But today we have crossed 6%, but we are comfortably sitting. But if we include the state's fiscal deficit, that is another 4, which means total is more than 10. What is fiscal deficit? Let me explain with an analogy. In any domestic household, there is an income, and after that expenses, your rice, wheat, oil, your bacche ka education, your son is going for music classes, learning karate, in Deepavali some guests are coming, some marriage you have to go, you have to give gift. So you have an income and you have an expense. And whatever is left, that is your saving. Same thing happens in the government also. The government's income is your GST, income tax, corporate tax, disinvestment. These are all earnings for the government. And the government's expenditure is subsidies, Garib Kalyan Yojana, defense, all these. After all these expenses, whatever is the balance, that is the saving. But unfortunately, there is no saving. The government's expenses are more than the income, and that is what is fiscal deficit. So fiscal deficit as a percentage of GDP is what we are talking about, which has crossed 6%. And not just that, we have food subsidies. During this year, the food subsidies are going to be 60,000 crore. That is Prime Minister Garib Kalyan Yojana. For IAS, IPS exams, this is very important because welfare schemes, 60,000 crores. And not just that, you have other kharcha in terms of MSP, which is minimum support prices. You have seen the drama in the Delhi, Punjab, highway, remember that? So higher MSP. And over and above that, you have the fertilizer subsidy, which is approximately 75,000 crores, my friend. Because whatever fertilizers are there, they're all being imported. Now, just food subsidy and fertilizer subsidy, that itself is more than 1,35,000 crore, which is 1.35 trillion rupees. And over and above that, GDP, we were very proud, 8%, but that has come down to 7 and now it is 7. Even reaching 7% is difficult. That's what most of the experts. But guys, don't think that I'm giving all the negative factors. There is absolutely no fault of the government. It has nothing to do with the government budgets or the government planning or financial policies. There have been certain extraneous factors which were outside our control. Your increase in commodity prices, the geopolitical situation, the war, the increase in crude oil prices, the increase in commodity prices, etc. The government has done its job. Who could ever have anticipated? We had anticipated the budget based on $70 per barrel, but today it's selling 130. Now it's slightly come down. You can be the best of the best driver, but if you are going in such a highway in the hill station, I've given an example of bus driving experience in Dalhousie and Such Pass. It's only a single track, Dalhousie to Such Pass road, only one way road. The driver may be the best driver in the world, but if there is a landslide, if there is a snowfall, if there is an elephant which comes on the way, the vehicle ahead of you is stalled, the rock comes down, who can do anything? Now, extraneous, those factors not under your control. Whenever US sneezes, we catch cold. If there is a problem in Europe that is affecting us, government is doing its job. But these are unforeseen circumstances. Let us talk certain positive things. PMI, Purchase Managers Index, which talks about the sentiments in the economy. Today we have an index, PMI index, we have already reached 57. 57 is an indication that the general sentiment is excellent. Everybody is very optimistic. Now if you want to know more about PMI, go to Dr. Sadasivam's Academy, subscribe and see that video. That's a half-an-hour video completely in terms of what is PMI and how is it relevant to the economy. And the second, you look at GST collections. Once upon a time when we crossed 1 lakh crore, that was a big achievement. Last month we have crossed 1,70,000 crores of GST. The taxes collections have gone up, direct taxes have gone up, indirect taxes have gone up. The exports have risen like anything. $40 billion is what we are talking about. 2 years back, it was only $20 billion. Literally, exports have doubled, whether it's merchandise export or service exports. I put up another video, a detailed video. Watch that video. And not just that, everything. Look at CMIE, which talks about the employment in the country. It also talks about labor market participation rate. Every single factor, if you see, whether it is income tax, whether it is capex push, whether it is infrastructure push, there is nothing to worry. These are all temporary phase, passing cloud. If you remember, during Corona, the whole world came to a standstill. Remember, March 2020, the whole world came to a grinding halt. But in spite of that, if you look at the stock market, May, June, July, August, in 6 months, from 13,000 Nifty, which came down to 8,000 during the Corona, in 6 months, it reached back 13,000. 6 months was all it took to reach pre-COVID levels. I'm talking about October 2020. And in just 1 year, we are talking about October 2021, went up from 13,000, 14,000, 15,000, 16,000, 17,000, 18,000, 18,700. Indian economy is an extremely resilient economy. We have come out very successfully out of Corona. But yes, today a small dip. US problems are there, Russian-Ukraine problems, a small blip in the screen. we will come out successful from this crisis also, just as we came out from the corona crisis. Be optimistic. Okay guys, I hope you like this video. This is Dr. Sadasivam signing off till we meet again. Bye bye, Jai Hind.